Hello, people. It's Crazy Mad Scientist here. I'm doing this video to try to explain to people why the weather is freaking out and why there is so much seismic activity all over the planet. I've spent a lot of time tracking the sun in the last several years because I noticed at one point in time that the sun was coming up slightly off to where it normally does. If you read the Boy Scout manual, it says the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Well, it's my belief, and I've said this for quite some time, that the earth is tilted to some degree because of a natural cycle around the sun. Now, I'm using my basketball here to try to show you what I'm talking about. If you notice the lines, over here is where the sun is shining. Back here is where the sun is not shining. So in the daytime, we got our sun over here, and on the other side of the planet, people are having nighttime. Temperatures are all the same over here, and they're all the same over here. But if you tilt the Earth to some degree, then the weather will change all the way down there and all the way back here. Basically, we have a moon that acts as a counterbalance around our sun, around our Earth. All right, and as it's going around us, this is kind of hard to do. Let me try it like this. As the moon is going around us, it causes us to wobble to some degree. This causes our seismic activities and our tides, right? Because it actually, the pull of the moon on our Earth actually creates a bulge right at the equator, right where it's going around. See? It kind of bulges it out, which keeps us flexing. It's kind of like, you know, if you take a piece of metal and you bend it back and forth and bend it back and forth, you cause friction, which keeps heat going. Well, you can imagine our hot molten core being flexed all the time. The crust of the Earth is flexing all the time, so it's continuously changing. But with our solar activity going on right now, we're getting just a hair bit more radiation than normal. So that's kind of adding a little bit of temperature here and there, and it's kind of shaking things up a bit. Plus the fact that whenever the sun spits out a coronal mass ejection, it interacts with our magnetosphere, which basically, if you can visualize this, our the core of our Earth is believed to be a hot molten ball of metal. All right. So if anybody's ever played around with magnets, you know that if you move the magnet close to another magnet or you change the field, the magnets will flip-flop around. Well, essentially, that's what's happening underneath our Earth. Our Earth is being shook up a bit, you know. The sun's magnetic field fluctuating, causing our magnetic field to fluctuate, which kind of shakes things up a bit. All right. Well, if you add the degree of tilt, you know, they said on the news a while back that they believed that it was because of an earthquake that the pole shifted approximately, you know, 3 degrees or some kind of jazz. That's not the case. If you sit there and watch the sun come up in the morning and then you track it across the sky, you'll notice that it's coming up in the northeast and going down in the southwest. It's not going directly east to west any longer. It's off to some degree. But you can see by the shadow on this ball that when you tilt the Earth, it's going to change the temperatures all over the globe, no matter which side you're on, whether the dark or the cool side, the dark side where it's cool, or the warm side where the sun's always shining. But with all those all those temperature variances. That's why you're seeing all these freak weather patterns. Of course, you know they're tinkering around, tampering with weather, using HARP and doing the chemtrailing. I know. Everybody thinks that's just a damn conspiracy, but I mean, if you watch it, you'll see it. Either way, between the knuckleheads jacking with the weather and nature doing what nature normally does, you're going to see a whole lot of freak storms. You're going to see a whole lot of earthquakes, a whole lot of tsunamis, and a whole lot of volcanoes erupting. That's because the Earth's core is being shook up by the magnetic field change in the sun, which affects our magnetosphere and all the extra radiation that we're getting because we're going through a solar cycle. I don't believe that it's doomsday. I don't believe that Planet X is coming around to bash us, so I made a little video of the sun looking through a welding mask so that you could actually see that there is no extra planetary body there. You know, the possibilities of us getting hit by a meteor or a comet, you know, that's always going to be there because our solar systems, our galaxies are just littered with junk, rocks, ice, whatever. Either way, you can expect some changes because there is going to definitely be some changes. There's going to be some really crappy weather, and we're in for one hell of a ride. Just telling everybody out there, don't panic. Try to do the best you can out of a bad situation because get used to it. Mother Nature's pissed off. She's throwing a fit, and the characters up there jacking around, tampering with the weather, you know, wanting to own the weather by 2025. They're just making the situation worse, thinking they're fighting global warming or whatever their crazy plan is. You know, those folks didn't build those bunkers for nothing. They built them for a purpose because they knew something was on the way, and this is exactly what's on the way. We're going through a solar cycle. Our Earth has tilted to some degree because of a natural cycle as it goes around the sun. We don't go in a perfect circle. We go in basically an elliptical orbit around the sun, which means that every so often we get just a hair closer to the sun than we normally do, and on our way back out into space, the Earth tilts because the sun's gravitational pull is wanting to yank it back. It's like taking off running and somebody grabbing a hold of your hair, you know. It pulls you back. Well, when we get back out into space, our moon will do what our moon does. It wobbles us. It's kind of like our counterbalance, and eventually it will ride us back to almost to normal. It'll probably never be the same. There's definitely going to be definite changes. Anyway, just want to put this video out there and let you all call me crazy or whatever, but I've been paying attention to my science books for all my life. This is all natural stuff going on. There's no Planet X getting ready to slam into us, and we're not going to get blasted by a comet. If we do get blasted by a comet, and it's bad enough, you ain't going to have to worry about it anyway. But you can expect some serious changes because it's happening. You know, maybe that's what the Mayans knew. Maybe that's what the Egyptians knew, and that's why they made these big old giant pyramids to let us know, hey, we were here. We got screwed, but we were here. You know, this is where we were at. Either way, peace to everybody, and I hope this helps you understand something. Take care. Okay, people. We're inside a welding mask. And we're looking directly at the sun. And you can clearly see that there is no Planet X. There's no other extra body there. The sun is just throwing a fit. Is going through a solar cycle, which is explanation of a whole lot of things that I'll get into later. But you can see it for yourself. There's the sun. Let me see if I can back up and clear this up just a hair. May have to see that. No extraplanetary body. We're looking directly at the sun through a welding helmet. Now, if you work it around just right, you can get the refractory deal where it shows where it looks like there's two suns. Apparently it ain't going to do it for me. But it's the first lens and the second lens reflecting off of each other. Like I said, we're looking directly into the sun. Let's see if I can get a better view. There we go. Try to hold this puppy steady. But if there was two suns up there, you would definitely see it, without a doubt. There's not. It's just the sun throwing a fit. Talk to y'all later.